So guys, sometimes when you open your bonnet in British English, hood in American English, and engine bay in technical terms, and you see such footprints of rats, maybe rodents or mice. Okay, these are basically footprints, right? That means to say your engine bay is like a playground for these gremlins. All right, as you can see, it has walked all over the pipes and the battery, the engine bay, wherever possible. You can see the footprints almost everywhere. I'm lucky, I would say. It has not yet bitten anywhere, but pretty soon, depending on its mood, on, on how hungry it feels, or how, rather, I would say, the rats basically bite to challenge their teeth, it seems. Okay, their teeth is one of the strongest parts of their body, and they need constant challenge, and they keep nibbling on certain things to make it grow even further and stronger, right? So you can see the footprints all over. So far I have been lucky, it hasn't bitten anywhere, but as anytime it might strike, and it might strike at the right place, and it will cost, probably, if it's a Maruti car, it's a Japanese car, it's a commuter car, it might cost anywhere between $1,000 to maybe several $1,000. Okay, it depends on where it bites. Okay, see, these are all plastic parts, these are injector modules. Okay, it has walked on it too, and it changes its mode, and it bites at somewhere near this. If it bites near this particular part, the connectors, it's very difficult to actually connect it back. If it bites somewhere in the middle of the pipe, you might be able to fix it together, solder it together, okay, or tape it together. So it depends on where it bites to. Okay, let's say, for example, I'll take for example this particular part here. Okay, if it bites right at this point, it's very difficult for you to connect it reliably back. But if it bites somewhere here in the middle, you should be able to connect it by just twisting it together. You understand what I mean, right? And the damage can be devastating if it is maybe a German car, or if it is a Rolls Royce. God help you, probably you will have to end up spending as close to buying another Suzuki Swift or Ignis to get it fixed. Sometimes the entire harness is changed, sometimes a makeshift stitching job, or just a connecting soldering job is done. So it totally depends on what extent of damage the rats do. So let's now dive into how we can fix this, okay, or at least protect your engine from this. So as they say, prevention is better than cure. I'm going to go ahead and be precautious and try to protect the vital parts by using a mesh system. I will not be using a spray or various other remedies that you see online, like probably putting in a little bit of tobacco powder and so on. I don't think I'll be doing that. I'll just go ahead and put some mesh, stainless steel mesh system at vital parts. That's the max I can do. And after that, it depends on the luck, okay, and the place you park. In fact, this I park in my apartment basement. There is no garbage dump close by. Still, these creatures make their way through the engine bay and do this. Okay, so let's look at how we can, probably use the stainless steel meshes to go ahead and protect the vital parts at the least. This is the least you could do. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So how am I going to protect my car against our little friends, the rats, rodents, mice, and whatnot? This is a stainless steel mesh, and you can easily buy it from a hardware store where they sell construction materials. They basically use as a filter for the M sand, which is used for constructing houses and for mixing with cement. So simple as that. this mesh, and along with that a little bit of wire. This is an iron wire basically they use for building the structure during the construction. Okay, very simple and very movable, malleable. It's a very malleable wire, pretty easy. And then we have this scissor specifically made for, I think, capable of cutting this stainless steel. Very capable of cutting this up. Very simple, just place this in here. All right, I already cut a part of it. Let me show you how we do this again. So it easily cuts through. Be very careful not to pierce yourself with these small minute wires. They're very sharp. Okay, so once done you just have to cut it in like this. Simple. Okay, so it cuts without any problems. The scissor is a metal scissor. It cuts pretty well without any problem. All right, there you go. The patch is already cut up. Now what am I going to do? Very simple. For example, let's say we have this O2 sensor or whatever it is, for that matter, air sensor probably, yeah. So when we have this, when the rat bites out here, right out here, just at the entrance of the socket where the wires get in, that is the most problematic thing. All right, so when they bite right out here, it's very difficult to resolder it back, because you'll have to carve this plastic out and then try doing some jugaad. Very difficult. If it bites somewhere here, that's fine, because at the end of the day it's just wires, so you could stripe them, okay, and then just join them together or solder them together. So my main intention is to protect this area. That's it. Let go of this, because you can't waste your time and energy covering all the other things. You could do it provided you feel like, but then I don't feel that it's necessary. That is one of the risks you should be willing to take. Alright, so let's go ahead and see how this can be done. So let me just pull this out. You don't really need to pull it out. In fact, I can do it right away. I'll just show you how it's done. So this small piece of patch that I've cut up, I'll just put it through here. Alright, and ensure that it covers up like this. In fact, I might not need to cable it. Where'd the cable go? It just fell down. Just a moment, please. Finally found it. It was down there on the ground. So I'm going to be cutting a small part of this. I'll use a wire cutter with this. Right, I won't be using the scissors, because this has a little bit of a gauge. So cut a small part of it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there it goes again. And then I put this in like this. Right, just like stitching. That's it. Simple as that. No big deal. Alright, and then you lock it like this. That's it. Simple. And you're done. There you go. Little bit of protection from the gremlins. Now it might try chewing in, but thanks to the sharp pointed wire edges, it will probably give up. That's what we can hope for. That's all. Alright, so similarly you can do this for almost all the places that you feel are going to be vulnerable and are going to cost you a bomb when you try this. Alright, so let's take a look at this. This is another vulnerable part, the lambda sensor. Okay, they say it's gonna cost a lot if this wire is bit up, but ensure it is cold and not hot when you're working here, because these are the headers, exhaust headers, and they'll be very hot when the engine is running. And these places are where I'm going to be putting them, and this, especially this, So these are the places I'll be putting it, and after putting it I will just hope for the best. That's it. We can't do more than that. So there you see, it's done, and this is how far I want to go in terms of putting these things in. You can see all four ignition coil spark plug. You can see all four spark plug coils are done. So it somewhat looks like Shehenshah's armor with this metal mesh. So you don't have to be concerned about it being perfect, because you see these sharp edges, they can pierce through the gums or probably the mouth of the rat if in case it tries to bite in from there. All right, so that way it's still effective. All right, so you don't have to perfectly do it. So as long as there are exposed wires, you don't have to perfectly do it to protect your wiring from the rats. So this was a small video on one of the ideas of how you could keep the rats away. You can go to any extent. In fact, you can go ahead and put wire brushes with pointed the pointed side facing upwards so that it can't even walk on it. So these are all basements where it can walk on, as you would already seen. Okay, certain places like these, you would find it difficult to sit at a place and then start chewing it. Okay, so those kind of things one has to look at. You can go above and beyond with this. It depends on how paranoid you are, but this is where I would like to stop. All right, and just hope for the best. That's about it. So guys, hope you found this useful, and then please like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye bye.